Good evening. I'm here to show you a typical math class in Moodle as part of Virtual Schools of Excellence. Let's get started. I'm going to open up a screen share so you can see what a class looks like. The sample class we're going to look at today is Algebra 1A, Section 1. In this class, let's go straight down to what a typical lesson looks like for a student. So every class, as in Moodle, is split up into 2 modules. Each module consists of 9 different topics. So the student will be completing 18 topics in all every semester. They can see what they're going to be doing if they click on this module pacing guide at the very top of the module. When we click on that, it is simply a checklist of items that they'll need to complete over the course of a semester. So let's say, for example, that I have completed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 items. Everything that I still have left to complete is listed here. If I complete any item, I can check it off by just clicking this little box. And as I do so, this status bar fills up and lets me know how far through the course I've made it. Going back to the course, below the module pacing guide, we have the actual topics we're going to be covering. So let's say that the very first topic in this module is to solve linear equations using arithmetic and geometric properties of equality. Underneath each topic is going to be a few learning goals. For example, here, first learning goal is to create equations and inequalities in one variable and use them to solve problems. Next to each learning goal is a reference to the standard that it comes from. And so all of our learning goals are standards-based so that we can know that the student is fulfilling all the objectives set forth by Common Core or by your particular state. Beneath the topic and the learning goals is basically where the student will get started with their work. So every topic is going to begin with topic reading and resources. When we click on that, it's going to take us to a textbook page. Okay, so there is a textbook that goes along with this course. It's called Elementary Algebra. It's published by OpenStax. And in this case, the lesson has been embedded inside of our web page right here. And as soon as this boots up, what you're going to be seeing is a PDF version of the textbook pages for this topic. And here those are. So you'll notice that this reads just like a textbook. The students will read the paragraphs. They will look at the examples. The examples are demonstrated in a stepwise fashion, so students can clearly see how the solutions are being obtained. After every example, you'll notice that we have what are called try it problems, where students can try the skills they've learned on their own. Okay, so let's say that I'm a student who has just completed the reading for this first topic. At the very bottom of the lesson, you'll see kind of a workflow set up here. We have a video set, number 1, that goes along with the reading that we just finished. We have the next reading in this topic that we can click on, as well as its corresponding video set. Let's show you what a video set looks like. When we click on the video set, I went ahead and posted 2 videos from Khan Academy that relate to this topic. The videos are embedded inside the lesson, so you can watch them without having to leave the site, which is nice. At the very bottom of the page, you'll see a link to some practice exercises on Khan Academy. So if we click on that, it's going to take us to an interactive space where students can practice as much as they want with problems from Khan Academy. So for example, 25 equals q plus 20. Well, I know that 5 plus 20 gives me 25. If I check that, oh yeah, I got it right. Okay, so that's just a place where students can practice and get immediate feedback before they actually start tackling assignments and quizzes. Speaking of which, let's talk about assignments on Moodle. When we go back to our main course page and go down past our topic reading and resources, you'll see our first written assignment, number 1. Okay, in the assignment description, you'll see the directions for the assignment. I've attached 2 links here, one to the actual assignment and one to the answer key for the assignment, with the disclaimer that students will be attaching a scan of all work necessary to obtain solutions. So if I download the assignment, you'll notice it's going to look very similar to some of the problems we were looking at in the text. We have 12 problems that correspond with section 1 in the reading, and another 12 or so problems that correspond with section 2. I always like to finish up every problem set with some application questions where students, solve problems involving a story. So there's about 26 problems in this homework set, but that may vary depending on what the topic is. But once we've completed the assignment, what we're going to do is submit that. So if I'm the student, if I want to submit an assignment, if I click on the assignment itself, you'll see a rubric pop up that tells the student how points are going to be awarded. So students need to be mindful of this rubric as they complete their work so they can get full credit. At the very bottom of this page, you'll see a button that says Add Submission. That's where they're going to attach the file that they showed their work in. So when you click that, it's going to open up a box that's going to allow them to add a file, which they can find on their desktop or wherever they saved it. Okay. Once I submit it, it's going to light up in green saying you've submitted an assignment, and it'll be in the teacher's inbox to grade. Going back to the class, below every assignment is an assessment of some sort. Okay, so here was the assignment we just took a look at. Here's the assessment that goes along with it. So if I click on that assessment, it's going to take me to a page where it's going to give me some instructions. Okay, so here's the instructions. You'll have 2 attempts at completing this assessment and 30 minutes. Make sure your readings are ready and available for reference during the assessment. So I've set the time limit for 30 minutes just so that students won't have time to go look up the answers someplace. You'll notice that I've already done an attempt. I kind of whizzed through it just because I was making another video. So, let's say I wanted to do another attempt at it and see if I could redeem myself. If I click on Reattempt Quiz, it's going to give me a warning about the instructions again. If I click on Start Attempt, it's going to take us inside the quiz. Inside the quiz, you're going to see, in this case, 12 separate questions that are listed by item here. There's also the timer shown right there below that. Basically, students are going to go through and answer questions, clicking next page whenever they get to the bottom of a set. And you'll notice that as we complete each question, questions are lighting up in gray, meaning they've been answered. Okay, so once the students completed all the questions, they'll go ahead and submit that, and they're going to get instant feedback on how they did. So just be aware that an assessment could be a quiz, it could be a test in the topic of interest. Once we complete the quiz, the next item in our course is called a weekly live Zoom session, which is perhaps the most important part of this course. A lot of students struggle with online courses because they don't have access to a human being all the time. So we're trying to solve that problem by offering these Zoom sessions. So whenever the teacher decides to hold a Zoom session, there's going to be a link that this will take you to, and it's going to put you in a live Skype-like format with your instructor where you can ask questions. The instructor can work example problems, reteach things as necessary. Let's show you how that looks. So if I stop my screen share, and let's say that I go to an interactive whiteboard, I can do problems for my students on this whiteboard, and they can also write in response. Okay, so here's my name. Okay, and it is kind of a choppy whiteboard, but just be mindful that students can work with you in a virtual environment, just as if the teacher was right next to the student, which is very nice. And last but not least, we have one more thing as part of our topic. It is a how are you doing question. This is where students can reflect on how they did with this particular topic and give their teacher feedback for the future. And after that, we go on to the next topic, and it pretty much repeats itself from there. Once again, we have the topic, the learning goals with standards, and then we start with the reading resources, the written assignment, the assessment, the Zoom session, and so on. So that is the demo for this class, and hope this was helpful. Feel free to reach out to me if you have questions. Thanks so much. Have a good night.